Hey guys, welcome to 4 Kids and a Farm. My name is Aaron, and today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can save money raising your pigs, and especially how you can save money on pig feed. Now, there's lots of tips and tricks, and a lot of it's going to be regional. So if I miss something that you do in your region, make sure you put those comments below. We have been raising pork on our property for ourselves for the last 4 years. We oftentimes will spend a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra money in order to ensure that we have the best quality pork around. But having said that, there are a lot of things that you can do to keep your feed costs low, especially because once these pigs start getting big, they will eat a lot of food. Tip number one, a lot of people will feed their pigs pelleted feed. It's readily available. You can get it from Tractor Supply. You can get it from your local feed store. It's really easy to get. It's nutritionally balanced. It's got vitamins, minerals, and all that stuff in it. There are a few things that you can do to bring those expenses down for your regular pelleted feed. Regular feed, I will call it. One thing you can do is you can look for discounts. Sometimes local feed stores like Tractor Supply will have coupons or bulk discounts if you buy multiple bags. A lot of feed stores will also have broken bags or discounted bags because the bag busted or something got into the bag. You gotta be really careful about that. If there's rat droppings in it or mold because it got wet or something like that, it's not worth the savings if you're gonna get your animals sick. So be really careful about that. Another thing, buy in bulk, buy as much as you can, but make sure that you can store it correctly for the amount of time that you need it. It's not going to be worth it to buy a ton of feed if you can't use a ton of feed in the next 6 months or so. A lot of local feed mills will have the ability to drop off larger amounts of feed to your property as long as you have a grain silo or somewhere to keep it dry, barrels and such. Buying in bulk, just like buying food at Costco for yourself, can save you about half. It's really efficient money-wise. So if you can do that and you can store it properly, buy bulk every single time. While we're talking about regular pig feed, one thing that you can do is there's like starting and finishing. If you're gonna skimp on a cheaper feed, do it during the starting. Finishing is when the pig is laying down flavor in their fat and in their meat. And if you're going to make sure that you want the highest quality meat, use the highest quality feed at the end. For us, we feed organic feed throughout the whole process, and we are amazed at the quality of our meat. That can be expensive. An organic bag of feed can be over $20. There is a cost difference there. If you need to save a little bit of money, save it on the front end, spend a little money on the back end. So now that we've talked about regular feed, what else can you do? You will hear about soaking or fermenting feed. Soaking your feed can increase the volume of your feed by over 30%. It really is valuable because it adds water to the feed. It increases that volume so that the pigs get fuller off the same amount of food. And you know, if you're talking about the summer months when they need more water anyway, you're giving them nice, good, clean water. Soaking the feed also makes the feed more palatable. We find out there's less waste. And if you can ferment, we don't ferment, we just soak. There's also a lot of beneficial microbes that happen there when you're fermenting your feed for your animals. Make sure it's not getting moldy, make sure it's not smelling off, because once again, you can make your pigs sick. But soaking the feed, we found, makes it just way more desirable for our pigs to eat than just regular old dry pelleted feed. Now, one other great thing about pigs is they have almost the same digestive system that humans do. That's how we've evolved so closely with each other, because anything that's waste to us can instantly be food for the pigs. One way to save money on your farm is to feed human food waste. Any scraps from the garden, from your kitchen, leftovers you don't want to eat, all are good food for pigs. You can expand that if you have food waste from local restaurants or grocery stores, markets, stuff like that, and you have that resource, you can totally use those things to feed your pigs and supplement their feed. Other waste, quote unquote, products are like waste grains that you can get from a microbrewery. whey or waste milk from a dairy, all of those pigs will just love. I think it's important that a lot of those feeds cannot be a feed alone, but should be supplemented with something else. For example, waste grain, a lot of the nutrients goes out of the grain and into the beer. And so it has just a marginal food value, but they'll love it as long as they're getting some other kind of supplemental feed with it, they will thrive. You can use those waste products with other feeds to kind of supplement that, and that makes sure that you save a little bit of money while feeding your pigs awesome food. One of the really cool thing about these tips is not only will they save you money, but it'll increase the nutrition of your pork, it'll increase the taste of your pork, it'll be the best stuff you've ever had, and you're gonna be saving pennies, dollars, hundreds of dollars, depending on how many of these you can integrate into your feeding practices with your pigs. I do have to mention here that a lot of areas, a lot of regions, and even states and countries do not allow you to feed animal proteins to your pigs. So you've got to be aware of those local laws. Just make sure that you take those rules and regulations into account as you feed your pigs. One of our favorite ways to feed our pigs, as you can see, is to pasture raise them. Now, pasture raising doesn't mean that they're purely eating grass, because different pig breeds have a different ability to utilize pasture. For example, a Kune pig can live a lot more closely just on grass than a Berkshire pig can, like we raise here. But the benefits of pasture raising are not just on grass, but what's under the grass, what's in the soil. The cool thing is pigs love to root. As you can see behind me, this is half a day's worth of them just churning up this brown dying grass behind me and looking underneath the soil for grubs, nuts, seeds, roots, worms, bugs. Pigs are omnivores, and so they definitely eat all of those things. They love to do it, and as they're doing it, they're improving our pasture. So we are grateful for this. This is, in our opinion, the healthiest way to raise animals. Now, this is where our pork raising gets a little bit nerdy. We, along with the pasture, love to mast raise our pigs, and mast is technically fruit and nuts that fall from trees. And if you think of a pig's natural habitat, it's going to be in a wooded area. Now, we spend a lot of time and effort collecting acorns so that we can supplement our pigs on pasture with delicious acorns. Some of the most famed pork in history is acorn-fed pork, and we're really trying to find how to make raising our pork cheaper, but also making it the best it can be. And that includes acorns. So we spend a lot of time picking up acorns during the fall and putting them up for the winter so that we can supplement our pigs' feed, which helps them lay down some of the most delicious buttery fat in their pork. That's why it's so famed in Spain. We're just trying to mimic that because the only trees we have around here are eucalyptus, and nothing that comes off of eucalyptus is tasty for either humans or pigs. Another thing that I could talk about is raising crops specifically for your pig. Any waste products that come from your farm or local farms or from your garden. Think about just raising extra crops for your pigs, like pumpkins, like squash, something that can store for a while, for a few months, that you can intermittently feed your pigs, and that will help save a lot of money for you and your farm. Also, things like pumpkins have lots of nutritional benefits and anti-parasitic benefits for their digestive system. Besides that, pigs love pumpkins, they just devour them. So, as part of a balanced diet for your pigs, if you can feed them pelleted feed, along with some of these other things, you will save lots and lots of money. So guys, I hope that's helpful for you. I hope as you look around your area, you can find some really good resources to help decrease your feed bills. These pigs, as they get bigger and bigger, they just eat so much. And if you can feed them cheap, quality food, you're gonna have the best pork you've ever eaten. Your customers will be happier. And as you lower your feed bills, you can keep a lot more of that profit, put it in your pocket, put it into your property, put it into next year's endeavors. It's always better when you can save more money and increase the health of your animals. That's really our goal, to make the best pork possible. Just so happens that as you save money, you increase your pig's health. If I miss something, make sure you put it in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with somebody you know that raises pigs. Maybe they'll get some good ideas from it too. As always, thank you for watching the video. We'll see you next time.